Hello and welcome back to Archaeosoup Towers on a momentous occasion, following a survey that I put out there a couple of weeks ago on the community tab of the YouTube channel, but also on Facebook and other places, asking you guys what you wanted to see as the design for the next patch that we're going to develop for the Etsy store. Now, you may recall a little while ago, Liv and I embarked on our Skyrim Archaeological survey. And incidentally, we'll be picking up the threads of that project in the very near future, following her move from one flat to another, which went quite smoothly, despite some hiccups with the desk and the computer, but we're there. And on Friday, we'll be doing a test run, and in the very near future, we'll be starting where we left off with that. But basically, with that project, I couldn't resist designing a little treat for the two of us, initially at least, the two of us, to share. And the idea of a team patch that you might get for a scientific expedition, frankly, but also, something going to the moon or whatever, just really appealed to me. So I designed the Skyrim Archaeological Survey logo as a shoulder patch or a patch or a bag or something. And initially, it was the two of us. I commissioned two patches. We both got one, and they were great fun. But also, I really enjoyed the process of designing them, and I couldn't help but share that design with you guys on Facebook and on Twitter. And immediately, the response was, "Give me! I want one! Shut up and take my money!" All this kind of thing. And I wasn't quite expecting that. And so the initial route that I went down wasn't going to work for more than a couple of patches. It was just too expensive to do. So I had to do some R&D and find the right company to make the patch to a standard that I was happy with, but also crucially at a price point that wouldn't break the bank for people. And that's what we managed to do. The Skyrim Archaeological Survey patch is now available on the Etsy store, and it's quite popular. People seem to like the patch. Apparently someone had the patch down at a conference in London recently at the British Museum, and Helen Geek, of all people, of Time Team, noticed the patch and was curious about the Skyrim Archaeological Survey. So, it's an eye-catching thing, it's fun, and people seem to enjoy it. But that also meant that very quickly, the idea, the potential, the possibilities of this, other archaeological surveys to other computer game realms or mystical, magical worlds, started to really rise to the surface, and people started messaging me saying, "Can you do a Westeros one for Game of Thrones? Can you do Middle Earth, Lord of the Rings? Can we have a Fallout patch? Can we have a Dark Souls patch?" Various potential archaeological survey patches, all of which I have ideas for and that I want to do. But the only downside is that initial R&D and getting the first batch produced. Because once the first batch is produced and once they start selling, basically I can put a little bit of that money back into producing the next batch. But initially, I need to know that the design is going to sell and that it is popular. There's more than one person asking for this. Hence the survey. So I put out there a couple of options in this initial survey: Fallout, Minecraft, Rapture, or Bioshock. The city under the sea where Bioshock is set is called Rapture. There was Lordan, or maybe another setting in the Dark Souls universe, and Hyrule, as in the Zelda Breath of the Wild, but also, frankly, other Zelda games are set in the land of Hyrule as well. And in addition to those options, there are a couple of suggestions made along the lines of maybe a space survey and a couple of other, for example, Middle Earth and this kind of thing, in additional comments. But I wanted initially those five to be on the survey, and Fallout and Minecraft came a very close second. In fact, I think they split the vote, really, because the winner was Hyrule. Now, initially, I think that makes a lot of sense. We've been doing the archaeology of Breath of the Wild on the Digging the Game series, and I think it'd be nice to have that patch as well. So I can see where that came from and why people chose that. But I also want to make it clear that I want to make other designs too. I have an idea for the Rapture design, which I'm quite interested in exploring. And yeah, Middle Earth and Fallout in particular could be really cool. You could do something interesting with Fallout Boy archaeologically for that logo. But for now, the initial round, or the initial next round, will be Hyrule, for which I've already designed the logo. I actually designed it this morning. So here's what will be the logo in the middle of that patch for the Hyrule Royal Archaeological Survey. It is essentially the logo of the Hyrule Royal family, and I have just subtly replaced what was already kind of trowel shaped in terms of the body and the tail of that logo with a trowel. And I think it's quite subtle, it's quite elegant, and again similar to the Skyrim, using the dragon from the Elder Scrolls games as the trowel blade. There's something pleasing about this new design, which I'm looking forward to seeing in the flesh, as it were. I've sent off the design to the company, and they're going to send back a proof for the patch itself, and I'll make that available in the community tab in the very near future, so you can see how it's being developed, and I'll let you know when it's available. But thank you so much for taking part. Thank you for inspiring me in terms of new patch designs and new potential patches and archaeological surveys, because as I say, there's something really fun. Yeah, for example, just like an LV426 patch, an archaeological team that goes to the wreckage of the Xenomorph from Alien. That would be fantastic. And so in that sense, this has been a very exciting and stimulating exercise, thinking about how would an archaeological survey team fit into this world or that story, or etc, etc. It's been fantastic, and I'm going to continue this process, I'm sure. But thank you for taking part in this exercise. I'll definitely let you know how it's proceeding, and please do comment below if there are other archaeological surveys that you would like to see, if there are other worlds or franchises, however you want to term it, or other computer games that you want to see an archaeological survey patch produced for. As ever guys, until next time, do take care, and again, thank you. Bye bye.